Chapter 13. Sergeant Bobby Field and Colonel Henry Potter made their way to the castle of the two sisters. Bobby had point and his magic club held high. The two soldiers jumped at every noise, every movement in the shadows. To think, I thought this was going to be an easy assignment before retirement, Henry quipped. If I may ask, Sergeant, is the question anything like the realm you and your friends and sister found yourselves in? Bobby paused and glanced back out. Well, sir, in the sense that magic real, yeah. Oh, and you both got unicorns. He turned to head and started forward once more. Other than that, the realm was a lot more adventure-y, for lack of a better term. A pair of fruit bat tool hybrids suddenly flew in from behind a stone wall and made a beeline for the pair. Bobby let out a shout as he swung his club, striking the first one and disassembling it into a fruit bat and jackhammer. The second hybrid, a combination of fruit bat and sledgehammer, bobbed and weaved around Bobby's subsequent swings. It buzzed and waggled its wings, almost in a taunt, before spinning about and heading straight for Potter. The colonel unholstered his pistol and fired off 2 rounds at the hybrid. Both struck true, but ricocheted out the sledgehammer head, now placed in the fruit bat's actual head. He let out a scream before ducking, letting the hybrid pass mere inches above his head and striking the wall behind him. A large chunk of the stone was knocked loose upon impact, tearing slightly before falling and almost missing Potter's head from above. Bobby's grip on his club straightened. Oh, no, you don't! No one assaults Bobby the Barbarian's commanding officer! He charged forward, clubs raised above his head. The hybrid had no time to move or do anything before Bobby brought his weapon down, striking it and separating the fruit back from the sledgehammer. Bobby skated to a halt and raised his club high in the air. No one defeats Bobby the Barbarian! Henry straightened up and tugged down the front of his shirt. Thanks for the job, Sergeant. He looked around as the fruit bats flew off in separate directions. Still no sign of the restoration team or our detachment. I'm telling you how worried I am, Sergeant. Bobby nodded. Memories of being separated from his friends and sister in the realm flashed before his now distant eyes. I have experience with how dangerous it can be alone in a magical land, such as Equestria. Bobby's head shot around at the sound of rustling branches. Colonel, do you hear that? A Pegasus mare and her pony stallion emerged from the edge of the evergreen forest. A mare wearing a pith helmet and pocketed shirt, while the stallion wore a shirt and handkerchief. Both were grayscale and colored, with thin lines running across their bodies and little black curls appearing every so often. The mare swooped down towards the stallion, shaking her hooves. You won't get the artifact this time, Calibrown! The mare exclaimed, voice rising and falling with each word. The stallion, Calibrown, cantered about, slick dancing with each step. Do. He shouted, waving a hoof in the air. You won this round, but I, Dr. Calibrown, so I recovered the artifact and set it for a melt to bits. And yet, this is better than whatever happened at the end of Season 9 for our dear Daring Do. Whoever wrote that episode needs to go for a rewrite. Bobby and Henry stared at the pair as they shouted back and forth. Potter looked at Bobby and waved a shaking fear between the 2 points. Sergeant, I think something happened to Professors Yearly and Calibrown. Bobby hugged his cup. I think you mean Daring Do and her nemesis in those film serials they're making based off of Professor Yearly's books. He squinted. Man, they fit right in with the old Flash Gordon film serials Mason Julian likes. Daring Do and Calibrown turned us one to Bobby and Henry. Daring Do jammed a hoof at Bobby's club. Ah, the artifact! Daring Do shouted, flying towards Bobby. Give it to me, you ruffian! Calibrown's eyes tracked Daring Do as he flew off. Ugh, bah! What bother getting my host left? He pressed his lips together and let out a shrill whistle. It's funny as getting the club. 4 pony stallions and 1 Pegasus mare bounded from behind a bush, too small to hide them all. All 5 were black and white, like Daring Do and Calibrown. 1 stallion wearing a fedora and neckerchief pointed at Bobby. It's the artifact, Biff said, his voice keen and so insulted. We got it. He paused and reached behind himself and pulled out a sheet of papers from somewhere. We gotta get it for the doctor, he read, eyes going back and forth. Bobby stared at him. Son of a bitch, he's waiting for a script. Brought up his club, staring to you for a while. I'm not gonna like doing this, Professor, but you'll take me off. Biff and the 2 other stallions Rogue and Weathers galloped over to Bobby and Henry. Biff ducked into a low swing from Bobby's club, while Weathers cantered around Henry. Brought his hand low and pulled his legs. Bobby let out a shout as he tumbled forward into Bobby and knocked the younger Marine. Bobby fell to the ground, losing his grip on his club and sending it flying. Daring to grin as Bobby's club flew into the air. "At last! Yes, that!" he proclaimed, grabbing the leg in her forelegs. She turned and started flying off, but was tackled to the ground by Rosie Thorne, the lone Pegasus of Caliber on its hench ponies. Daring to grunted, bared his teeth as he lost her grip on the club, and seeing Rosie Thorne struggled around in the grass and dirt. "Let me go!" The club fell and bounced a few times on the ground before coming to stop at Caliber on his hooves. He smirked and grabbed the club. "That's what it is. I shall sell this for a jolty jangle, and I tell you to some custard island, because of you." Bobby slid out from under Henry and sighed. "Sorry about this, Biff," he said before rising to a crouch and punching Biff twice in the muzzle. Even as the stallion reared back, Bobby was up and running towards Caliburn. Before he could even react, Bobby struggled twice to the foreleg. Caliburn cried out in pain, but Bobby paid no mind as he grabbed the club from him and backpedaled. He spun the club around in his hands, the enchanted wood glowing with each arc. "No one messes with Bobby the Barbarian!" he shouted, bringing the club down, striking the ground with a thwack. A large translucent hemisphere of magic pulsed from the point of impact, spreading out and away. It swept over the entire area, bolts of energy trailing behind the wave. It flowed over Caliburn, turning him from monochrome to color once more. He stumbled and shook his head. "What am I?" he asked, looking around. The wave expanded, striking Daring Do and then Calipara's head's place, reverting it back to normal. Rosie Thorne and Daring Do floated back to the dirt. "But Professor Yannick," Rosie Thorne asked, slowly striding over, "how did we get that to the Israel? Where the guardhouse is 5 used to be." Daring Do, or rather Professor A.K. Yearling of Caroline University, reached out and patted Rosie Thorne on the shoulder. "First off, I actually used the landmarks and terrain to figure out your location. Second of all, I had no idea." She looked around, quick as by Caliburn. "Cabby, what's going on?" Caliburn shook his head. "I did not know, my dear." He looked up as Bobby and Henry walked over. "Ah, Colonel Potter, do you know what in the name of the Magni is going on?" He suddenly gasped and let his foreleg buckle. "Although I am in so much pain." Bobby dropped to one knee and waved his arms around Calibur's leg. "Oh, I am so sorry about that, Dr. Caliburn. I was trying to get my club back to dispel the magic affecting you folks, and I didn't have any other way to—" "Wait, what spell?" Yearling gasped. "Colonel Potter, what the Cerberus is going on here?" Henry rubbed his foreleg before launching to a abbreviated explanation of what had happened to him earlier in Bobby's club. Our best guess is that the Union Discord was a failure, and his chaos magic is messing everything and everyone up. Firstly, Field's magic club can negate the effects. His eyes crossed, and those were sentences I thought I'd never say. A.K. Yearling let out a small chuckle. "Believe me, Colonel, that's a sentence I've felt far too many times in my youth." Bobby turned to Henry and straightened up. "Colonel, orders?" Henry sighed and placed his hands on his hips. "This is supposed to be an easy assignment before retirement." He rubbed his chin. "Well, there's still the actual work crew, not to mention security detail." He waved his hand in the partially restored ruins of the Castle of Two Sisters. "Lead on, Sergeant. You and I still have people to rescue." He looked to A.K. Yearling and Caliburn. "Professors, I suggest getting your aides out of here. It's not safe here." A.K. Yearling drew herself up as straight as possible and adjusted her saw. "Not a chance, Colonel. No one knows these ruins like I do." A nicker for Caliburn caused her to roll her eyes. "Almost no one. Still, you'll need someone to guide you." She looked at Caliburn. "You get everyone else out, old friend." Caliburn's nostrils flared. "If you think for 1 second I will abandon a treasure colleague or seek gallivants around the evergreen forest before this Cornean magic is loosed upon here?" He waved a hoof. "No, my dear. Honor demands I helped out." Rosie Thorne swallowed. "I'm staying too," Steve finally said, forced her lips to smile as everyone looked at her. "I don't just maybe the castle the two sides." Biff exchanged looks with Rogue and Weathers. "Son of a German rogue," Biff finally said. "We're staying with you." He looked at Rosie Thorne. "Don't want to leave you two lonely out here without someone your own age group to talk to," he said, winking. Rosie Thorne rolled her eyes. "I didn't know you can't," she said, failing to hide a real smile from him. Henry sighed and rubbed the bridge of his nose. I just wanted a nice, easy assignment before retirement. He said, All right, Sutherfield, get your club ready. Rest of you, try not to wander off, okay? Bobby exchanged salutes with Henry. I won't let you down, sir. He entered his club, but sighed as he looked it over. Shame. Rosie Thorne looked over and landed beside him as he started walking. What is it, Sutherfield? It's just, not the same without my old gang.